On February 10, 1973, a massive fireball erupted from a liquefied natural gas tank in the Bloomfield neighborhood of Staten Island, killing 40 workers who were inside the tank. This incident sparked a public outcry against the storage of gas near residential areas and led to a moratorium on liquefied natural gas facilities in New York State. Liquefied natural gas, or LNG, is natural gas that has been cooled to a liquid state for easier transportation and storage. LNG is odorless, colorless, non-toxic, and non-corrosive. It takes up about 1/600th of the volume of natural gas in its gaseous state, making it more efficient and economical to transport. However, LNG also poses some risks and challenges, such as the possibility of leaks, spills, or explosions. LNG can vaporize rapidly when exposed to air, creating a flammable gas cloud that can ignite if there is a source of ignition. LNG can also cause severe frostbite or cryogenic burns if it comes into contact with skin or eyes. The gas tank that exploded was part of a complex of liquefied natural gas storage tanks owned by Texas Eastern Transmission Pipeline, or TETCO. The tank had a capacity of 660,000 barrels and was 108 feet tall, with a diameter of 272 feet. It was located near the waterfront, about a mile south of the Goethals Bridge. The tank had supposedly been drained in April 1972, but it still had some gas trapped inside its polyurethane lining, which was supposed to prevent corrosion. At the time of the explosion, 42 workers were inside the tank, sealing cracks in the plastic lining. The explosion occurred at about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A spark ignited the gas inside the tank, causing a flash fire that quickly spread throughout the tank. The fire created a tremendous pressure that lifted the concrete dome of the tank, which weighed 1,200 tons, about 20 to 30 feet in the air. The dome then came crashing down, crushing the workers who were inside the tank. Only 2 workers, who were near the top of the tank, managed to escape the inferno by climbing onto the scaffolding outside. The other 40 workers died instantly. The explosion also sent a plume of smoke and flames into the sky, which could be seen from miles away. The blast was so powerful that it shook buildings and shattered windows in the nearby area. The explosion triggered a massive rescue and recovery operation, which lasted for several days. Firefighters, police officers, and medical personnel rushed to the scene, trying to put out the fire and to retrieve the bodies of the victims. The bodies were so badly burned and mutilated that they had to be identified by dental records or personal belongings. The families of the victims were devastated and outraged by the tragedy. They demanded justice and compensation from TETCO, which was accused of negligence and safety violations. The company denied any wrongdoing and claimed that the explosion was an unforeseeable accident. The explosion also sparked a public outcry against the storage of gas on Staten Island and elsewhere in New York State. The governor of New York, Malcolm Wilson, ordered a moratorium on the construction and operation of liquefied natural gas facilities in the state, pending a thorough investigation and review of the safety standards and regulations. The moratorium was later extended indefinitely by the state legislature. The existing gas tanks on Staten Island were decommissioned and abandoned, and some of them were demolished. The site of the explosion was never rebuilt and remains a vacant lot. The incident also raised awareness of the environmental and social impacts of energy production and consumption, and prompted calls for alternative and renewable sources of energy. The 1973 Staten Island gas explosion was a horrific event that claimed the lives of 40 workers and shocked the nation. It was also a turning point in the history of energy policy and public safety in New York State and beyond. The explosion exposed the risks and challenges of storing and transporting gas, and led to a ban on liquefied natural gas facilities in the state. It also inspired a movement for cleaner and safer forms of energy, and for more public participation and oversight in energy decisions.